Hey, and welcome to the Heartbreakers podcast with your hosts, Elsa Jean and James Mars.
How you doing, Els?
Absolutely lovely.
I love that. I only love it when you're absolutely lovely because I have to work with you every day. And when you actually are never not lovely. You're either unresponsive or lovely.
Don't say that I'm difficult to deal with because that's a soft spot for me because I feel like I actually really pride myself on how easy I can be to work with. But I was talking to a friend actually, and she was like, you need to be careful when you just go MIA and don't answer. And I'm like, sometimes I just need to not answer people for a day or two or three, or like, I need that. Everybody needs that.
No, just the other day I was thinking like, I freak out before anything has happened. So like, and then you're just like, what? I'm here. I know I have that appointment and I'm showing up to the fucking thing. I just didn't want to have to speak to you 6 times about it because I knew I was going to show up and you're doing damage control for something that hasn't happened yet. And then I'm pleasantly surprised. What I need to do is chill out a little bit.
Remember when I scared you? We had that flight at like 6 a.m. Yeah. And I was like, oops, sorry. I clubbed too hard last night. I'm just now getting back because we had to get up at 4 or 5 to make
these flight to New York.
Honestly, and 3 o'clock just to to make it to New York. And I was like,
I shat myself for a second just because I was like, oh, but then I saw her Insta story of getting ready and I was like, my mind straight away went to that I was like, wow, she planned an Insta story just to make it look like she was coming and then did like, nowhere in my mind was it a joke. I just thought she really didn't come.
That's too much. I'd rather just not show up and fake that I'm coming when I'm not.
Do that. Yeah, exactly. I work for you.
I just like to mess with you. Add a little stress.
So yeah, things have been busy, right?
Right. Yeah, I've been working on so much. I know that you've been along for the ride with me. So
yes,
every time people are like, what's coming up? And I'm like, it's all surprises that I'm always working on, which I think is more exciting. But I know everyone wants a little bit of a hint. And I think if they dig really, you know what I mean? Which some people do.
Well, you just shot 2 magazine covers. We can't say which ones, but I mean, that was amazing.
Can we say that they are big magazines? Like
you know them. You definitely know which magazines they are. You've seen them on newsstands everywhere, and they've been around since before any of us were born. Maybe not some of us.
It is actually so far my most achieved, my greatest experience. The best time of my life was shooting those 2 magazines, and
you
I
were
cannot wait.
Good. The stylist, everyone on set turned around and was like, I didn't know what I was expecting, but it was not this. They were like, she was so good. And I said, I knew you were going to say that. I just wasn't like, I was waiting for this moment where they were going to turn around and go, okay, cool, Instagram girl, blah, 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 whatever that their preconceived notion was. And they were like, they are giving me Kendall Jenner vibes right now. Like literally one of the highest paid models in the world. Elsa's face was just like looking.
They did amazing.
She had it was like acting. You just saw every character and the clothes. Anyway, without going too
I know, because let's not give it away too much. But I'm so happy when I say that was the greatest experience to date for myself over everything I've ever been through, everything that I've achieved,
I saw you tweet, these are the 2 best days of my
life. It really was because the set was so inviting and so comforting and so, it was just amazing. It really was. So I can't wait. But that's kind of what we've been working on.
We have been. I'm very excited as your manager and best friend. I'm just like stoked that everything's going so well. I mean, you have now, actually, you signed the contract now. So you're also the collaborative editor of an online magazine called Thrissel.com.
Yes.
And by the time this episode comes out, you'll see a couple of articles written by none other than Elsa Jean, aka Sapphire Howell.
Yes.
We are going by her original name and it feels good.
I know people, again, if they digged a lot, when I first joined, people were like, her real name from high school is Sapphire Howell and blah, blah, blah. And fans would sometimes comment like, I love it, Sapphire. And I would get kind of offended, right? Because I'm like, they would say it almost in a threatening way. Like, I know this little piece about you that you're not announcing yet.
I mean, it sounds like a stage name / porn name.
I know,
anyway.
right? No, it is my birthstone. So that's why it's my name. But
Sapphire Howell. Why did she change it?
For safety. So my sister was still in high school when I was in porn. So I did it for safety reasons. I thought that would keep her a little bit safer because I know how people in high school can be. And of course, they released it right away. But what I was saying is, I'm so excited to start using my real name because I feel like when people retire from the adult industry, they tend to keep their name.
Yeah.
And the fans and everyone complains about them keeping their name but not continuing porn. So I decided if I'm
Well,
not going to continue mainstream porn, maybe it is time for me to go back to my real
but
name.
you love Elsa Jean, and
I
having
do.
that alter ego also, it's so great. Just like Beyonce, I was saying, has Sasha Fierce when she gets on stage and puts all the outfits on. Like
Yeah.
your sexy persona is always
It's
going to be Elsa Jean,
it's
and you
Elsa,
have,
yeah.
your fleshlight products, you have your,
I'm not getting
you
rid of
know,
it. I
yeah,
want to
the-
keep
yeah,
in like a weird way. I want to keep
to
both my names, and I don't mind if
to
people
lean
say,
into a sexier side and
yeah,
then come into the businesswoman
yeah,
or the, writing
more
these articles and
mature.
being a collaborative editor, the magazines, stuff like that. It's so cool to
It
see that
is.
you can do it, and to do it on a cover of a magazine, reveal your real name and be you. I
I
mean,
know.
everything
I
couldn't work
know.
out better. It's honestly like touch wood, touch wood, touch wood.
We're working hard.
Yeah. So I have, as we said last week, Adult Friend Finder is our first official sponsor. We are so excited to have them. I've been digging around. I have a little bit of research I've been doing. I've been enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a profile. I've been hitting up a bunch of people. I have a date next week. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx it. But you can hook up. I mean, they're just so open. They've been around since '96. They're the longest reigning platform for dating, hookups, casual, romance, everything. So yeah.
Do you think that, because in your profile right now, we have just a little bit of a short description, right? You know how
Yeah.
like you write, it's like about me, a little bit of a short thing.
Yeah.
Do you prefer when someone has a lot in there or not really? They just
No, because
kind
then
of
I feel like it's a bit of a red flag. Like I'm like, oh, they're saying too much. It seems, but maybe
maybe
that's
a little bit of an
too eager
overtalker.
or too like, and also how much can you possibly say? You know how texts get misread
Yeah.
or like, you got to really hear it come from someone, and writing out like, I mean, it can be cute. Say I'm having a conversation with you and it's like, I like dogs, or like I have this little dog. It's so great, blah, blah. But if
Yeah.
I'm writing that bullet points, I like dogs. I like to paddleboard, blah, blah, blah. That, I sound like a loser. That's like, I want to do this. I love doing that. But it's just like
What about
much.
profile pictures? What do you think should be the? I don't think it should
Depends
be
what you want out of it. Like, do you
true.
want sex? Because then you got to put it like you're going to be a torso and show that
Yeah, you have to,
muscles
right?
or the. I don't think you can put a dick on there, but
I think business work photos are too much. I think that like a professional, I think you should just do a regular selfie.
no cars in the shot.
No cars, no planes,
cars.
no.
Maybe a plane. If
Oh
it's a
my-
private plane.
So what if it's not their plane?
Oh yeah. Actually, you're right. Let's just say vehicles are
Or
out
like
of the question.
lane in first class, like you.
Ugh,
Oh my gosh, people
no,
put
yeah,
the
we get it.
just
Okay,
be
people can-
normal.
yeah, just be normal. I think just a nice photo of the face. Like, don't have too much going on in the background. I just want to, as less as possible is probably better, because then it leaves so much room for interpretation. And what people want to do is feel optimistic about who you could be. Let them make up in their mind that you are the right one, and then prove them wrong later by being crazy.
I saw this is forever ago, but it was about online dating, whether it could be good or bad. And the problem with online dating is if you wait too long to meet the person, then your brain naturally will start to just come up with a description or like this idea of the person before obviously you meet them. So if you go a
Yeah.
couple of months and you're just chatting with the person and you met them online, your brain's going to naturally be like, oh, I think this person's this way. And that may be not the way they are until you actually meet them, but you already have in your head, like, this is how this person is. So then you have a higher chance of being disappointed. So I think if you're going to online date, for sure, meet up with them quickly.
Totally. Why fuck around?
Why?
There is, or do fuck around if that's the button
Yeah.
you select in friendfinder.com. The link actually to Adult Friend Finder is going to be in our show notes. So check that out. We love them so much. Okay, so I have my in the news at the top of our section today is I caught my husband cheating through a recording on Amazon Alexa. I went through into the settings. Oh, there's my Alexa in the background turning on.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
Because I said the word. Okay, so Matt, see, she's listening. I'm telling you.
Always.
So in the settings section on your Amazon app, all of your devices are actually listening in the background for when you say a word, because I don't want mine to go off right now.
Asshole. I'm just kidding.
So basically, you can go in there security-wise, unless you clear it all out. It's like cookies on your computer and stuff like that. It has a history of background recordings just in general. You can disable the function, but it comes automatically on. What?
Nothing. I'm just thinking what yours would be, and it would be all farts.
And me
All-
going, "Where'd you
Yeah.
my little moo? Oh, she's asleep. Sorry, me." What else would I be saying? What would yours be saying?
Trudy, like it's just constantly yelling at my dog.
Oh yeah, you're a naughty girl.
You live by yourself too, but I think it honestly would be me talking to my dogs. I think I'm a loser and I talk to my dogs all day long. I literally have conversations with them.
That's what I think mine is too. It's just like moo moo head, moo moo head.
Yeah, songs
and
and
singing
whatever.
the
If
songs.
people really knew
And
what
I
I
think
did at
farts,
home,
actually, you're right. There would be farts.
for sure.
Or me going, because like when something really good happens, like with mostly you, because that's all I do lately, like I'll be like, "Oh," and, like there's a weird noise in the background of me doing that because I get excited when something goes well or someone calls me back and
You're
I get
just
that thing. I
overstimulated.
know. I think I just have like,
Okay, so this person caught their
yes.
their
So they
snip-
caught it by going in there. You can click. Okay, everyone's going to do this now. So go and
yeah,
check.
tell me.
You can go in there and listen to the recordings. They download them, and then you'll hear whatever's been going on in the background. Now they do erase every couple of days, but obviously she found this function, went in
She-
there and found the dude, which is so
She probably went out of town,
mortifying.
or she was somewhere for like a couple of days or a long period of time. Was like, this is my chance to check.
Totally. And also I saw something similar to that. It reminded me of is the guy. So there was this guy. He sent a picture to his girlfriend, going, "Miss you, baby," while he was away on holiday.
Don't tell
And
me it's a
didn't
live
realize it was a
photo.
live
Yeah.
photo. And the moment he took the photo, so she clicked down on the photo. A girl is leaning in the moment after taking it because it was still recording to get the live photo.
That happened to a friend of mine. Not really, but she saw like not the laying down, but the guy. There was a TV in the background, and she held it down, and you could see someone walk in like the glare of the TV. He was actually in London or something like that, and he was like, "That was my suitcase," or it was something
Oh my
crazy.
God.
I put a T-shirt on my suitcase, and they stopped being together.
As the girl sitting there in the room with the guy, like, what do you think he's doing? So you're like, yeah, take a photo and send it to your girlfriend so she doesn't know I'm fucking.
You know, these guys, they're doing it secretly. The other girl doesn't know.
Realize
They
that
don't.
he's
The
just-
other girl,
yeah.
99% of the time, doesn't even know that they have a significant other. These people, and
Right.
I'm not gonna say
Talking from
guys.
experience,
People in
huh?
general, if they're gonna cheat, they know how to cheat. They, like they know the
Yeah.
steps. And it's easier if the other person, the mistress or whatever, doesn't know, because they can cause issues too, right? They could be like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I'm not dealing with this."
Sneaky mofos.
I caught my ex. Okay, this is a crazy story, right? He was like, "Can you get on my laptop and clear the history because." So I wasn't going in. I didn't have the password, nothing. So like, why would you set me up like this? But he goes, "Can you go in and clear the history and want to give it to my niece?" So I got a new laptop. Fine. Going in and deleting everything. Well, of course, I got to go in to the. He was watching my friend's porn. So it was my best friend. Like we were best friends.
Why did he want you to
5
go in and
years.
find it?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't think that would be like an issue, or maybe he forgot, or I don't
So
know
he
how
called
long.
you and asked you to clear the history.
Clear the history and ship the laptop. He was in a different country.
You didn't even have. Was he in a country that didn't allow porn?
No, he was just in a different country. I was in the US, and his niece needed the laptop or whatever. So he already had
the niece. He wanted you to clear it so the niece wouldn't see the porn.
Then the niece wouldn't see any of his stuff.
that
Just
makes
delete
sense.
everything, ship it.
Right.
Fine, whatever. But then he was watching my best friend's porn, and I kind of felt weird because he would complain to me. He'd be like, "You better not ever do gangbangs. You better not ever do like all these kind of scenes." But then when I looked at hers, it was all those kind of scenes that she was shooting, where he was like, he didn't even want me to shoot.
So he's doing the
boy,
research
girl.
to tell you what not to do.
And I remember being like, "Why are you watching my best friend's porn when we literally hang out with her probably 3 times a week? Like she is always over almost every single day, and you're watching her porn." And
Creepy.
yeah.
That is so creepy.
And I got into his Facebook and everything too, and he was chatting with girls and whatever. But the
He was a
relationship
douche
was.
all around. But isn't that interesting? He went out of his way to tell you not to do those things. And
That's
it was
what
like
I
he
think
was seeing them
really-
going, "Oh, I would hate to see her do this."
But I'm gonna watch her best friend do it. Weird, right?
I mean, it is kind of a victimless crime.
It is.
But he has to hang out with her, which is kind of weird too, because ever since I made friends with some of you porn girls, like if I accidentally scroll across an Anna Fox or
You
I'll
don't
be like,
watch it.
"Why
You don't watch it.
I don't want to see,
either.
like, it's like watching your sister or just in general. Like, I
Yeah.
don't need to see my friends like that. Now, a person on the street, I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Right. It's hard. I was definitely in a hard position because I'm like, I'm shooting it, right, with other people. Is he allowed to watch it? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
He's allowed to watch any kind. But my best friend,
Yeah, that's nuts. That is fucked up.
yeah.
Okay, so guess what? My next news story is a little bit of an interesting one. My picky eater girlfriend embarrassed me at a restaurant, so I left her there. So basically, this guy takes his girlfriend out to a restaurant. She orders a really difficult meal. They bring it out. It's not to her liking. She doesn't actually even try it, and she's rude to them and sends it back. So he gets up, leaves her with the bill. He may have already eaten his food. Leaves her with the bill, and then ghosts are out there. And some people had conflicting opinions on this because they were like, these people both need to learn how to act in public because you just left a girl there by herself and you left her the bill and yada yada.
I think that wasn't the first time that she's acted like that. And he was, why do our feet
Ew, our
always
feet just touched.
touch?
Ew.
Our feet
And my
always
toenails
touch.
are disgusting.
I
Sorry to you.
fell off.
Oh, yours is disgusting too.
So I don't think that that's the first time she's acted like that because no one reacts that strongly. But I get so embarrassed when I go out with somebody and they complain about every little thing, especially people who complain to then get money off the bill is really embarrassing for me. And then on top of it, like, I definitely have gone out to dinners and stuff with people where I'm like, can you stop? Like, even down to the drinks. I had a friend that I actually had to stop going out with because every single time she never liked her drink, she never liked her food, and it would stress me out. And I'm like, this is so stressful for me. I might say something if they realize that I'm not eating it and the waitress or waiter says, is everything okay? Like, you don't seem to like it. And then I might be like, this is not how it usually is, but can I get something different? And I never ask, take it off. Never. Even though I know that's standard. But to get up and leave somebody, I don't know. How difficult was she really being? Pain. And when you're starting to get to know somebody or you're dating them, look at the way they are treating people who are in, service jobs.
Yeah.
Because if they're rude,
Yeah, girl.
no,
Fuck
it's
off.
a no for me. I mean, clearly he said that. He shouldn't be getting up and storming out. Who knows how dramatic
He
he
sounds
really
like a bit
was.
of a douche
But
too.
yeah.
Sorry, dude.
I'd be like, listen, we're not ever going out to dinner again. Like, if you can't act
and I
right,
think that one comment about these two people both need to learn how to act in
it's true.
public is totally true. You guys are messy as fuck. All right, now I can get on to questions. The questions. Oh, look at how cute.
Our favorite.
Oh,
This is my favorite time.
Yay. Hopefully my
Shimmy,
laptop
shimmy.
doesn't die. My partner has decided to tell me about his affairs in the past. I was shocked because I didn't have him down as that kind of guy, a cheater and liar. It made me think about him differently, and now I'm obsessing over it, even though this happened in another relationship.
Obviously, if someone's telling you what they've done wrong, you wouldn't be telling somebody that unless you're trying to change that or unless you have changed that. I wouldn't go to someone and brag about me cheating and giving out all of my oh, this is how I did it.
Yeah, you're not
if I'm gonna go cheat on that person again,
Yes,
or if I'm gonna cheat in a new relationship, I've been a serial cheater for forever. I was previously in a relationship where I
And did you
never
ever
cheated
tell
one
them
time.
about it
I
in the
really
moment?
never.
Oh,
I told them about all of the cheating, everything that I did in my previous relationships. I told him to a T. I was like, this is what I've done. But before I got into that relationship, I did a lot of therapy and I promised myself I wouldn't cheat in the next relationship. So that's why I never cheated. But I could see why
Right.
that can be a turnoff and upsetting. And like, is he going to do this to me? Like, he clearly got away with it and he clearly thought it was okay previous. I think she needs to actually have a conversation and say, I understand that this was in the past, but like, how are you changing now?
I didn't even think of that. So, like what you said is, if he's planning on cheating right now, he's not about to try and tell you. Then you're going to be way too onto it. It's like telling someone I'm about to rob a bank, and then you've got a bank robbery planned on Monday. They're going to call the police. So, like,
Yeah. That's so
unless they're getting cut
dramatic.
in. Yeah. So I think that you've got nothing to worry about, and I think worrying about him in the past. I mean, percentage of people that actually cheat, for him to tell you what happened. Yeah, I would also feel like, oh shit, he's a bit of a cheater. But actually, no, I wouldn't. I'd just be like, well,
I don't know. Have you ever been with someone and they've told you about them cheating and stuff and it hasn't affected your relationship?
It hasn't affected my relationship.
Yeah, I've been like that before where I've been with someone who told me about every little thing and I never guessed that the person would cheat on me, but I'm also very secure with who I am. And I think that that's why I am not scared.
Totally. Okay, so the next question I have for you is my now boyfriend wants me to remove a matching tattoo I had with my ex-boyfriend.
No, don't do it unless you feel like it's right to do it. I have matching tattoos with people. I've had exes ask me to remove them, and I'm
Seems
not.
like a dick move to ask her to remove it.
I wouldn't, because I remember getting matching tattoos with people, and that was a great experience. And I wouldn't. Why erase that? It's in the past.
And he sounds very possessive. I mean, this is a red flag to me that someone is telling you to remove something on your body that doesn't have someone else's name.
Yeah.
It's a heart. That's what makes the big difference.
Or they could go get matching tattoos, and when she's ready to erase the other one, then she can do it. But I'm so against people telling
people
what to do.
Yeah.
People really need to work on being secure with themselves before they get into relationships.
Yeah.
But you also sometimes don't realize what can make you feel insecure.
Yeah. I recently had to ask my friends to stop making out on a flight. I felt it was inappropriate and cringe. What are the do's and don'ts of PDA?
I am the worst person.
Do you make out a lot in public?
I do the worst.
Oh, you have sex in public?
I've had sex in the middle of a street. I think we talked about that. Like,
I think you're like that. You're not sitting there making out with your partner in front of me.
On a flight, yeah. I think on a flight it's great to make out, but maybe they're in a row of 3 and they're like, the 2 are making out and she's kind of just sitting there like this.
Okay, so I'll tell you my Grinch opinion, is that in public, I think that it needs to be kept to a minimum. Not like forcefully, like you're allowed to like be affectionate. That's so cute and whatever. But if you're sitting at a table with your friends and you start making out, the moment you start putting your tongue in front of someone,
it's aggressive.
Yeah,
it's aggressive. Like, making out can be really
aggressive. Holding each other. It's just like PDA. So like you've got other people standing around you. It just feels weird because you're like, oh, it just puts the other people in the position to have to veer away or move around some sort of way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I worked at Starbucks, and this couple would come in, okay, and it would make the whole, you know how Starbucks has seating area, uncomfortable because they would make out so much and like grab each other's hair and like hump and like be like this. And I remember being like with the staff people, I'm like, what are they doing? Are they like having, it was so close to sex. I'm not joking. And they're like, yeah, they just come in like that and do that. I'm like, somebody get them out of here. It does bother me sometimes, and I am used to it. How I handle it, honestly, is just deleting it. I don't think people really realize how much hate I truly get on my social media. That's how on top of it I am with deleting comments right away. I check my comments frequently and a few times a day, and I swipe and delete. And that's all you can really do, because I feel like somebody coming to my profile and commenting negativity, why are you even here? I don't even need to give you any type of like, I also feel like it's the attention that they want that I'm not